Hi, good morning, everyone. Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Vikramjit Singh. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. I work with Enclave Immigration Services. Our office is located in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. Today, we are going to talk about the recent draw for Express Entry, which was held on 6th of July, 2022. And this is a welcome development. Like after a long pause, IRCC has started resumption of their express entry draws. In this particular draw, it was not any stream specific. So we had the candidate from federal skilled worker, federal skilled trade, as well as a Canadian experience class, which has been invited under this particular draw. Uh, and the key highlights for the draw was there were 1,500 candidates which are invited to submit their application for permanent resident. And the cutoff score at that point was 557. So 557 customers, 557 was the cutoff score for this particular draw. So, given the fact that the score cutoff score is very high, as expected that the number of candidates, since these draws have not been happening for quite some time, especially like federal skilled worker, which happened I think towards the end of 2020. So there has been a sort of lot of pent up demand in terms of that. So that's the reason we see that the cutoff scores have been very high. If we really look in deeper into the number of candidates which are part of the pool right now, we have got before the draw happened, at that point in time we had almost 8,773 candidate which were with a score of 500 to 600. And then if we go from 450 to 500, 450 to 500, we have around 58,000 candidates in the express entry pool. So what you expect? Basically, one of the things we expect is that score is going to remain high in days to come. So if the IRCC keeps sending a draw for 1,500 candidates every fortnight, like every 14 days, so you would expect that like in the next at least 5 to 6 draws, you would expect the score are going to remain high, which is going to be 500 plus score. After that, we will start thinking like, okay, maybe the score will start declining a bit, basically. But given the fact that the number of the time left for the end of the year, and we don't expect that scores are going to be much lower than that. So scores are going to remain pretty high for this particular year. So, if you are someone who is aspiring to come to Canada on a permanent resident and you have been looking in terms of the express entry, so you need to think in terms of what are the things you can do to improve your score. I think like first of all, what first thing you should do is you really look in terms of your profile. What are the areas where you are scoring less? What are the areas you are scoring high? Like for example, like there are six sectors or there are sections within your the scoring criteria where you are able to influence them, or areas where you're not able to influence at all. Basically, for example, age is something which you don't have any control on. Like as you grow older, you tend to lose points on that, so you cannot do anything about that particular aspect. What are the other things you can do? Basically, so other aspect is going to be in terms of your education. So that's one area where you can look in terms of and see where you are able to kind of maximize your points in terms of that. So you could see that like if you have one bachelor degree, you might think in terms of adding one year program which could help you boost your the score. You can think in terms of your education, like if your education is outside Canada, you could opt in terms of maybe gaining the Canadian education, where that could give you options in terms of 15 points or 30 points, depending upon the kind of the program you're doing. Basically, for example, if you do a master's in Canada, that could give you up to 30 points. If you are doing a diploma program of 1 year or 2 years, that could give you around 15 points. Apart from that, other things which you could help you to improve your score is like your Canadian experience. So if you have a Canadian experience of 1 year, that could give you additional 40 points. Other things, other things which you could do is basically is in terms of you improving your language score. So language score becomes a very critical factor. Like it's not only individual score you get from language itself, but also that skill transferability factors also get impacted in case like you are able to improve your language score. So the most optimum score is like where you are able to maximize the score is 8,777 basically. So if you have a listening 8 and 7 in all of the modules, that's the one area which you can really look at. Apart from that, if you have two language skills, for example, if you have you can add French skills to it basically. So that's another, you could even get 50 additional points for that, depending upon like your language skills both in English as well as the French. And the final one, which you could also look is in terms of is your the points which you can get for arranged employments. When we talk about the employments in Canada, arranged employments is dependent upon LMIA or LMIA exempted exemptions. For example, if you are working in as an intercompany transfer, or maybe like you are maybe you are working on already on a LMIA and you have worked for 1 year already. So you are able to claim points depending upon what kind of knock you're working in. So for example, knock zero, you can get up to 200 points. And in case you are doing a knock A and knock B job, that could give you another 50 points. So these are the some of the things which could be looked at. At the same time, what you should also think in terms of is like looking in terms of other PNPs basically. Think in terms of like if we see majority of PNPs in Canada, they are employer driven basically. You need to have some sort of employment to get that done. Whereas there are some provinces, like for example Manitoba and Saskatchewan, there you don't they have got PNP streams where you don't really need to have the range employment. And still, like if you score enough on certain criterias, you are able to even like submit an expression of interest to that. Like and so these are the some of the things which could be looked at in terms of how you will be able to the maximize your score. And the people who are in Canada right now, like and who have been working on a either on a work permit or the postgraduate work permit, for them I think one of the things they have to look out is like look in terms of maximizing their the scores in terms of both in terms of the employment, see in terms of whether you can get more points in terms of the Canadian experience. At the same time, look out for the new streams which might open up towards the end of this year. So I think it's around going to be September of this year. The minister is supposed to submit a report to the parliament whereby he is going to provide some sort of insights into the TR to PR pathway for the people who are already in Canada. Either they're studying in Canada as an international student or they are working on a temporary basis. So there might be some things coming up. So which you stay tuned to us, to our channel. We will provide an update in terms of whenever there is an update from a minister about those two particular streams. And to summarize, try to look in terms of your profile again. Think in terms of which are the areas you are able to improve your score upon. And in case you have any questions, concerns, or you want to really explore your possibilities in terms of your profile, please feel free to contact us on 416-271-4371. You can WhatsApp us on this number 416-271-4371. You can also follow our social media channels. You can follow our Facebook profile, Insta, or YouTube. We will be happy to help you with your Canadian dream. Our purpose at the Enclave Immigration is to simplify the process. We know that like every now and then, the policies and the regulations keeps changing when it comes to the Canadian immigration. So we'll be more than happy to assist you with your immigration journey. Feel free to connect us on 416-271-4371 or follow us on our social media channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.